we are going to make a honeycomb tissue paper kind of ornament. You know, if you've ever been to the Dollar Tree or another party place and they have the thing that you can open up out of tissue paper that looks really pretty in any of your decorations, this is what this is. So you're going to need thread and a needle, but that's for the later part of this. And then scissors and a glue stick. Make sure it's glue stick and not actual liquid glue. It gets a little too messy if you try to use for liquid glue. And then we're going to get out our stuff. We got some tissue paper. We got the ends of our tissue paper ornament. And then this is going to be our gluing guide, and I'll show you what that means in a minute. And then we have some instructions in here. So we're going to start this whole thing out by, we want to cut our tissue paper in half. All right, so we got our sets of tissue paper. I think I'm going to alternate colors. I think that looks pretty. So the way I'm going to do this, we're going to set this down, and this becomes our guide for how we're going to glue our pieces together. So we'll take a piece of purple, set it down, make sure you only get one piece. All right, and we are going to line it up with one side. This is a little longer. Let's try like here. I want to make sure that the lines start on the ends actually. So I want lined up kind of like this. That'll work. All right, so we're going to start with the red lines. All right, so we just take a glue stick, and this takes some finesse, but you'll learn very quickly how to do it. And then we're going to lay down green on top of that. We'll line up the sheets a little bit, as much as you can. All right, and we're going to keep this same position from now on. And now we're going to do the blue line. And top our purple. And I'll show you one more red line. And then we will flash forward and to when we have all of these glued together, because you'll be doing it until you're done. Here's one more last green piece so you can see how that all layers together looks. All right, and now I'm just going to finish up with the rest of these, and I'll come back when I'm done. All right, now I have all my layers done, as you can see. So I can scooch this off to the side of this plate. We won't need it anymore. I'm going ahead and cut out my semicircles here of my cardstock. And we're going to mount these on either side of our shape here, because our honeycomb is going to be round. So what we're going to do is we're just going to glue this down. Have a little bit away from the edge there, a little bit of a space around it. All right, so now we're going to glue on the other side too, but we're going to try our best to line up the two half circles so that when they open, they'll meet a little more naturally. It's roughly the same. All right, so now we want to set this aside and let it dry for a good 30 minutes before we finish up with trimming and adding our thread, and then I'll open it up and you can see what it looks like. All right, let these dry. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a circular shape. We want to trim close to, but not all the way to the circle here, or semicircle. All right, here you go. Got our sides here. So now we're going to just create a little stabilization on either end of this and an ability to hang it up by taking a thread and needle. And we're just going to, through the tissue paper, not through the cardboard, we're going to poke the needle through. We're going to pull this very close to the end, but we're not going to do it completely. We want to be able to open this completely. So we're just creating stability, so we want to make this a little bit loose, kind of like this, so that it'll hold things together, but it can still open up into a full circle. And there you go. That's one knot. We don't really need to worry about the inside because this is going to be on the inside, so you don't have to clean that up too much. Then we're going to go through and do it on the other side. You can see mine were a little uneven, so I'm going to make sure I go in far enough that I catch all the layers. We're going to pull this apart a little, not terribly tight, but just a little bit, so that again the circle needs to be able to pull out like this. And then we're going to cut and do, or sorry, tie another circle down here. But that's kind of what it's going to look like, and then this will stick out the top and be what you can hang it by. All right, so now we are going to open it up. You can see how it's going to look. Now it looks like I have a couple of layers that didn't stick quite. We can always repair those if we need to by going in with some quick glue. But very short, it's kind of what it's going to look like, and then you can hang it up using the string. Now you can either glue this permanently shut, or you can take a paper clip and slide it on where these two meet. And there you go. You have a gorgeous little honeycomb decoration.